better to do? Get abducted by the crew of the Starship Alpha 2. They're from the planet Q, which, due to a space-time loop, is stuck in 82 and must be rescued. They need our heroes to discuss the latest news and give their reviews of games and movies too. Sure hope you're not confused. We swear this is all true, not just the premise to the Totally Rad Show.
Totally Rad Show, Totally Rad, Totally Rad Show, Totally Rad, Totally Rad Show, Totally Rad, Totally Rad Show, Totally Rad Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Totally Rad Show, episode number 16. I'm Alex Albrecht.
That's Dan Trachtenberg.
That's Jeff Kanata.
And these two are morons. The Totally Rad Show is your weekly dose of all things rad. We take a little bit of video games, a dash of movies, we lick it a little bit, roll it up into a fatty, and...
Wow, you went there.
It's a cigar. We were in Cuba.
Yes.
Also illegal.
What did you get?
To be in Cuba.
Oh, no.
We were in the Dominican Republic.
Using products.
Yeah. We're burning their crops. So anyway, this is...
I thought you were going to put it in an envelope and mail it somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
A fatty
Fat envelope.
A fatty...
A manila envelope.
Piece
to
of
Manila.
post.
Yes.
I'm going to send a manila envelope to Manila, a.k.a. a fatty. We want to thank Casey from Sacramento.
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet background. Man.
For the awesome background.
We're loving them.
We are loving them. And speaking of loving, guys, what do you say we go to Comic-Con?
I don't know
right.
how that relates to loving.
I love comic.
than-
Don't you love going to Comic-Con?
I do.
Well, then... So it's a one-to-one
I thought you were trying to
relationship.
lure me to... No. I'm excited about Comic-Con.
Me
Dude,
too.
We're going to have a really good time, but we're actually going to do a sort of meet and greet get-together. It's actually going to be really fun. There's the guys from My Fanboy are going to be down there.
it's gonna be cool.
Cool guys. Very
yeah,
cool
it's
guys.
super cool. So we're going to have a fun time. We think, this is a rumor, soon to be a trumor, that we're going to be at Bar Basic on Friday night after the con.
Okay.
Much better than Bar Pascal. Yes.
I learned on Bar Logo, so I don't know what you guys are talking about. But
That's a location. That's a place in San Diego.
that is the location.
Yeah.
It is actually a bar /
Basic.
restaurant. Bar Basic.
Yeah.
We don't have too many details. Not even sure if that's really where we're going to end up. But we will hit you up next episode with some firm details. Also, we're going to be putting a post on the forum so people can register. We're going to do an upcoming.org so people can RSVP. You don't need to RSVP, but it'd just be nice to know.
We know what
coming.
to expect. Please come, too.
Dude.
Please go to Comic-Con.
Yes.
You will not regret it. Even if you're not into comic books,
Super fun.
You
what
say
they
that
have
now,
down there,
but then
That's where I got into
hundreds
D&D.
of thousands of people that you're going to be pushing by, you're going to be like, why did I invite more people to
yeah,
come to this?
Ah.
that's true.
He'd be like, I came because of you. Where are we going? What is cool here?
TV shows like Battlestar, they have panels with the Battlestar actors
I'm
and
actually-
makers. Veronica Mars, Movies 300, they premiered last year.
We went and did a Dignation last year, and I have to say, we didn't spend that much time at the con. I missed all of that cool stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we went in, did a little walk around, shot the episode, and then we ended up spending a day playing D&D, Pen and Paper D&D.
Which is the beginning.
Which, by the way, I just played Calidor, the Knights of
Remember
Calidor.
this right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So happy. And actually, the guys from Kensing sent me all these books based on that rule set way back when I first told people on Dignation that I was into it. And I just now played it for the first time. Way better than Living Greyhawk. Just saying. I totally nerded out.
But how awesome has our various Munchkins been?
Well, that is easily awesome.
We're so addicted to Munchkin.
Although
Like
you guys
every
played without me.
Super
Yeah, it's
Munchkin?
really
Munchkin
good.
Foo?
We've been playing all the variations of Munchkin.
Munchkin Impossible.
We spent quite a bit of money on Munchkin.
Yeah.
We blew our chunks on Munchkin.
Yeah. Loving it. Loving it.
Perfect game.
If you haven't tried Munchkin yet, you owe it to yourself. Spend the $20, get some friends together.
Although I will
so
say,
much fun.
after playing Munchkin for so long, going back to D&D was actually quite refreshing. Because I know we kind of talked about, like, well, should we play D&D when we're down in Comic-Con? There's so much to see. It's interesting because Munchkin is about screwing with the people that you're playing with, and D&D is really about all the people coming together for one goal.
Yeah,
and so there was something really positive about doing that the other day.
But I will say, I remember you said to me...
I remember you remembering me saying this.
You brought something like, I kind of like the randomness with the rolling the die. I
Yeah.
like that. I don't like. That's the one thing I don't like about D&D. That
You don't like
it's
rolling the dice?
A
That's
lot
kind
of
of
time because it's so
specific.
it's so there's randomness in any kind of game, and there's randomness in Munchkin. But I like
Sure.
there is some skill that I have some control and maybe it's just the character that I play in D&D.
Yeah, well, you do.
I
play
feel
them.
like there's some strategy in it, but I don't have that many options.
Okay.
And in Munchkin, I have so many options.
Let me put it to you this way.
And your new thing that you did?
New thing,
Yeah.
level 3 monk.
Yeah.
Right? In a dungeon. I'm a rogue, so I need a little bit of flank. Guy starts his round and just goes, you know what? I'm just gonna meditate for a second. Skips his whole round. He's just sitting there like this. His round comes up and he goes, like, epic boom, jumps onto the wall, runs past the guy on the side of the wall,
that's cool.
lands behind him, flurry of bows in the
So
back
this
of the
is
head.
the reason this was possible in this and not in Living Great
Is
Happiness.
because you can be, there's psionic classes, and if you're psionic, which is like, you know, psychedelic.
I wanna be psionic.
Dude, if you're psionic, it's illegal, punishable by death if you're caught, and could also kill everybody in your party if you're caught.
Caught by who?
The people who run the world. It's so medieval that they don't want
Hate
ever.
the people that run the world.
Dude, it's epic. So every once in a while,
I see what that would do to gameplay. I like
yeah,
that.
and so he was a monk that took a feat that could allow him to use psionic things if he meditated.
Okay.
I was like, this is. I mean, Munchkin's amazing, but I was like, there's something to be said about
like that.
just badass running on walls.
That's cool.
He could literally run down walls of this huge tower we were on and start.
But could he hold
Anyway.
a banana phaser, momazer, blazer, dazer?
He could, but I think people would snicker. That's all I'm
let's
saying.
get the psionic party started.
I just said what you said.
Let's be ready.
We can talk about some movie stuff. No big, huge advanced release for us to speak of because we didn't get into our advanced release movie.
Yeah.
Well, it just we
Yeah, we
miscommunicated.
We did.
But Monday. We're seeing The Potter on Monday.
You saw a flick
With all.
and said it was great, Surf's Up. You said you liked it. You said it was great.
Well, this is what happened. I actually did think it was great. Basically, it was sort of like a. This was back when This is pre-half buffed or boofed.
Yeah.
Half boofed. I was like, oh, Shia LaBeouf in a movie. Great, I'll go see that. My girlfriend also hosts a movie review show called Girls on Film. You should check it out. girlsonfilmshow.com. Little plug, skis.
Mm-hmm.
But I was going to go to the movie with her and her partner that were reviewing Surf's Up, and I was like, well, I had nothing to do. We had already decided we weren't going to review it.
Right.
I was like, sure, I'll go see it. As soon as the movie started, I was like, wow, this is so not the movie I thought it was going to be. It is a really good surf movie. It's North Shore with penguins, and they never mention that they're penguins. It's just never even talked about it. And it's like, it was actually a really touching story, like with Big Z, like this famous surfer that started it all. And
Jeff
again,
Bridges
I said,
basically
Jeff Bridges
doing Big
was,
Lebowski.
Jeff Bridges was awesome. He was the Big
I
Lebowski
didn't know he was
surfer.
in that. I'm going.
Me neither. I mean, it
Sold
was
me.
really, it was really, really good.
And did one of the coolest things. It's so cool. It was like a Christopher Guest faux documentary, mockumentary.
Yes.
The whole movie.
Yeah.
There's boom poles. They're
Yep.
interviewing
Yep.
the actors, but it's
cool.
all and the,
Old footage of this Big Z
That looks
surfing
like Super 8.
Looks like Super 8.
and it really does, but it's all CG. It's so
And it was
cool.
so honest. I mean,
Yes.
you really could have been a documentary about somebody, following the big wave surfers that were, it's all based on about, like Hawaii and the big waves. And I was
cool.
Really good.
It was
And
surprising.
I read the making of too, and they actually for the one of the first animated films to have the actors all in the room, so they're not just doing their lines.
Oh, that's
from the
interesting,
script.
'cause there
They
were a
actually
lot
did
of-
improv off each other.
like when they were doing the scraping with Shia
great
LaBeouf
scene.
and
I'm surprised more companies don't do that. Because it seems like...
I agree.
it's more
Well,
expensive.
also when they have huge actors,
Yeah, they
like
wanna get
Mike
in,
Myers,
like-
Cameron Diaz,
yeah,
they
right.
can't do
Right.
that.
Yeah, they're like,
So-
we have him for 2 minutes on Thursday the 17th.
Right.
He can do 4 lines, and then he's got to fly to Jamaica.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, you gotta see Surf's
I will.
Up, dude.
Yeah, I will.
And you guys gotta see Surf's Up. It's awesome.
I will
It's no
say that-
Ratatouille.
It's no Ratatouille.
It's not Ratatouille,
but
but
it's not trying to be Ratatouille.
It's such, but it's also, it's not Happy Feet or what. Even
Yeah.
though I enjoyed Happy Feet, but this is an animated film like we've never seen an animated film.
It's completely different, and it's still funny.
I wouldn't even compare it to Ratatouille.
Right. Okay. And a great comic cast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Boof, man, he's good.
Boof was good. That was the first thing where I was like, okay, he was really.
You were
I mean,
quarter boofed.
I was quarter boofed. Then Transformers half boofed me, and I'm gonna stop seeing movies with him in it because
Yeah,
I don't
you
want to
gotta-
be
you
full
don't get fully
boofed.
boofed.
Indiana Jones may do it for you.
Oh,
see
man.
about that.
He
May
might get
take
done.
I'm
boof
half boofed.
right up your boof.
I'm half boofed, and it's
All
gonna
right.
take a lot to get him up there.
The next thing we got to talk about is a trailer we didn't unfortunately get to see. It was the the unnamed trailer in front of Transformers. They don't.
Because we went to a screening and they don't show trailers in front of screens.
I've always said that's one of the things. I mean, it's great that it's free and it's great that we see it early, but I do miss seeing trailers. Because there's something to be said about seeing it on the big screen. That was the first time I was actually piqued my interest about Transformers, was seeing the trailer for the first time. And I'd seen the trailer before
online,
on the big screen.
right? And then you see it on the big screen and you're like, holy shit.
That could be something.
But now we have seen the Cloverfield.
And a terrible, horrible version.
Well, but
so
okay.
its code name is Cloverfield. It's not the actual title. That's just what it's working under. And this is a teaser trailer.
Very teaser.
A very teaser. I will actually say, too, it wasn't... this is not necessarily a scene in the movie. This was a trailer. The movie has gone into production now. This trailer was shot prior to production of the movie. So,
interesting, because that's what
okay,
I was
well, let's describe the
about
trailer, which is probably playing behind us, but it's basically handy cam, like some guy shooting at a party, a going away party, and then all of a sudden...
War of the Worlds movies break down.
Something happens. A meteor hits. There was news earlier on that this might be a parasite monster movie, so we don't know.
Yeah. We saw some sort of mechanical ship at the end that was definitely made.
Oh, no, you didn't know what that... It was the head of the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, you can't see in our thing. It was
our crappy version we didn't really see, but it's the head of the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, I thought it was like a ship, and I was like, oh, cool, ship.
Okay. But people are saying, it sounded like at one point someone saying it's alive, but people are saying that she's actually saying it's a lion. It looks so big as a lion. And it sounds lame, but I don't know. I mean, that's what the talk is.
Well,
so we don't know anything other than it's like
J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Abrams
making this movie.
I'd love to say
clearly
too.
sci-fi, end of world days kind of thing.
The director, I'm stoked on. His name Matt Reeves. Did some TV stuff. He did that show Miracles, which was on for a hot second.
I liked Miracles.
Yeah, I was into
it. Was that
too.
the one with
Skeet Ulrich? Yes.
I liked that movie a lot, actually, or show a lot. I was disappointed it left.
No, I agree.
I was, because that's my kind of TV show.
He wrote Felicity, which AJ. He directed The Pallbearer. Do you remember the movie The Pallbearer?
David
Schwimmer and Gwyneth Paltrow. I love that movie.
Wow.
And ever since that movie, I've always wondered, what is this guy? Because that's such a hidden gem. You didn't like it though.
Well, it was hidden on HBO, and I watched a little bit and then stopped.
You didn't like it. Did you ever see
Pallbearer? I didn't see enough of it to know.
Movie.
But
so anyway, and it's written by Drew Goddard, who does. He was a bunch of episodes on Buffy.
Oh, cool!
So awesome, and Lost and Alias.
Well, let me start the convo.
Go for it. I think I know how you're gonna feel about it.
Probably because you know my tastes.
Yeah.
By now, I'm a simple man.
He is simple.
I'm a simple man who does not care for handycams or weird footage. I'm interested in the concept. I'm glad that you told me that it's probably not a scene from the movie because I would never watch a movie that was shot like that for 90 minutes. I mean, it might make a great short film, but for me, I'd be like,
and you didn't
I'm
like
done
Blair
with
Witch,
the
or you liked or didn't like Blair Witch? Because obviously this is going to draw some comparisons. But
Blair Witch was okay, but I think it was so. It was okay because it had never been done that before.
Right.
But anything that's attempting to be Blair Witch, I'm done. It was like I would never want to see Blair Witch twice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was the only reason it was even caught my attention was because it was sort of riveting and there was something weird about it. And then it was that is it true, is it not true kind of thing. Scared the piss out of me when I watched it the first time. But for me, I feel like, especially with like a J.J. Abrams, like I don't know, I just feel like it's a cop-out. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe it's not a cop-out if you can do it amazingly with the Sony Handycam, you know what I mean? Then maybe that makes you J.J. Abrams and not, you know...
I would argue, and let's just say, too, he's producing it, so it's not that he's, you know...
Well, right, but I mean...
We don't know how much
okay,
Mike has.
His is the only name that comes up at the end.
Well, yes, but that's like...
That's
yeah. No, I know.
something.
That is something.
But...
So I'm going to say... I'm excited. The premise was cool. It was shot really well. I would never want to watch 90 minutes of that footage.
Well, let me just say, I don't think it's a cop. I would argue that it's not a cop out.
I'm not saying it's a cop out.
Yeah.
I meant that meaning I would be disappointed because it would be a movie I would watch had it not been shot on Handycam. That's what I mean. I would enjoy that movie if it was shot as a regular movie. And so that's what I meant. I didn't mean it would be a cop out for him. I mean, it would disappoint me because I know I wouldn't enjoy it as much as if it was just shot as a movie.
I see. Okay.
And I'd feel sort of like, oh, that would have been a cool movie that I'd like. So that's what I mean.
Okay. All right.
Not so I don't mean. I mean, if they want to do that, go crazy. I wouldn't be excited about it.
Go ahead. What were you saying?
Oh, well, I'm stoked. I mean, I on the flip side, if it was the whole movie, I would be very excited to see it. If it's not the whole movie, if this is just how they do certain scenes or one element that plays into it, I will love it. I'm excited to see it. I love the people behind it. I love that it's the guy who did the pallbearer doing this. Like, that's not... It's like
We should
Peter
go see
Jackson
it.
basically doing Lord of the Rings. It's like kind of like they casted him as director based on he's a good storyteller, not on has he done a movie like this before. And another giant cockroach.
Awesome.
On Steve.
That's how we roll here.
But, you know... I totally lost my train of thought. I don't know.
Is it that music that's jamming?
Yeah.
A little beat it action.
I mean, how do you feel?
The trailer's awesome. I will be disappointed if that's just something they shot as a trailer.
I think audiences would be too.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think the trailer is so.
I'm an audience member. I wouldn't be disappointed. I'd be like,
Sure.
wow, that got me excited for the concept, and now it's a movie
why?
I like.
Because it seems to me the concept is that we're there with these kids on that night.
And you've got War of the Worlds. You know, you've got
Armageddon and 90 other movies.
You've got the movie that doesn't do it in a handy-cam way.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a unique way to
But
see
I guess
how this
I
event
also
goes
feel
down.
like I guess for me it would also be like the end of a world starts. Why would I take like how they're not gonna? I don't know. I get well.
Well, let me say
I'm
when
just
I was
I had about
I
four.
formed it
I had
in my
about
head
4
already.
conversations in my head with
Yeah,
myself.
saw
by the way.
that.
It was
I
awesome.
do that all the time.
And I figured out the answer, but I'll tell you guys later.
I think it's an interesting take on the YouTube generation. I think it's an interesting, like, this is how we see a lot of things now. And if shit hit the fan and aliens or whatever this movie is really about happened, I think, like, unfortunately I have to bring this up, like
Signs?
9/11,
Oh,
what
okay.
we would see a lot of is the people on the street pointing the cameras up real fast and trying to catch it.
Yeah.
And I think that sort of visceral reality
Well, we had
is
that
an
in
interesting
Signs.
But we had that for
in
4
Signs.
4 seconds.
No,
in
I know,
Signs.
and it was amazing. It was from some of the
Dude,
best
the movie
parts.
might be a bunch of different people's footage of
I think that would be pretty amazing.
I
if
bet
they
you
could
that's
pull that
what
up.
it is.
Here's what I'm
That's
concerned about.
good.
Here's what I'm concerned about.
No, that you think that's.
I'm
good.
concerned about the
That doesn't seem like an interesting, but that's like time cut or whatever the thing
This
was.
is what I thought Alex
if
was
you,
going to bring up.
if you can, if you, it's really, 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 really hard to sell that idea. And it worried me. There was a moment in the trailer where the girl goes, "Oh my God, are you seeing this?"
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and if any of those moments ring false,
Yeah,
and if we don't really believe, the reason Blair Witch works is
Yeah.
because, and unfortunately, is because they actually put those people in weird situations and kind of effed with them. And the stuff that they're shooting, while they were definitely acting, there is a level of actually
Reality.
having to be here and not retiring to my trailer at the end of the day.
Right.
Totally agree.
And I think that
But
the
also,
danger,
that was the genius of
You can
Blair
see,
Witch.
you can
True.
see because it's shot in such a real way. You really, it's not even
flaws
shot in a real
show
way.
up.
You can see acting.
Yeah.
So it has to be acted way better.
Right.
To not know that they're acting, to feel that this is actual real footage.
But also, I would also say that you probably got to use no-name people anyway, because as soon as Tom Cruise shows up,
I'm sure.
he's like, "Whoa,
I'm
what's
sure
going on?"
Yeah.
It's
seemed
going
to
to
be
be
all.
like.
It seemed to be all.
But
Yeah.
that's even more of a danger because a lot of those people. I mean, it's like you really got to watch out for the one bad actor in the bunch, and you jump right out of the movie.
It's true. Very true. I really want to bring up something else, guys.
Go for it.
I was after some of the talk we had on Transformers, how we weren't sure if it was made for kids. It felt like it was kind of made for kids, and we didn't know that going in. Some of the jokes were a little bit more childlike, whatever. I was just listening to Kevin Smith's podcast, and he was talking about how excited he was for Jaws 4 when it came out, and he remembers that the trailer was "This time it's personal."
Yeah.
Right.
And that totally took me back to when Karate Kid 3 was coming out. I remember it was this time it's for the first time it was for love. The second time was for honor. This
Yeah.
time for real.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And then so
Cut to.
I'm wondering.
Hilary Swank.
Now when I was super
Oh, was that
excited.
4?
That was 4.
Yeah.
The next Karate Kid. I was so excited when that got me so pumped. And I'm not sure if it was just because I was a kid and my dad was like, "It's just a stupid sequel," or was that had we not had so many sequels back then that this wasn't the deal? Okay, Part A. That's Part A. Part B.
Nah, I'm still thinking of Part A.
Transformers, the cartoon,
Yeah.
Goonies,
Yeah.
The Explorers,
Yeah.
Flight of the Navigator.
Yeah.
We hold in such Neverending Story. We
Yeah.
hold in such
Last
regard.
Starfighter.
Last Starfighter, such regard.
Yes.
Um,
Monster Squad.
are they actually good? If we were to see these today, and there's a couple of these that I have seen recently,
Me too. I remember.
are they?
Some hold up.
Do
most
we not
don't.
have movies like that now? Is the Last Mimsy the same thing as the Last Starfighter?
Well, yes, it is. The last Mimsy.
And
the
the way
last
you felt it-
Mimsy
if you saw-
is to E.T. as the last Starfighter is to.
Star Wars.
I don't know. Star Wars. What would it be? What would it be?
I don't know, but he's saying,
I'm saying-
maybe if we saw The Last Starfighter now as a current movie,
You'd be like, oh,
we'd
that's
be
a
like,
stupid kid's-
"That's a
I
stupid
agree,
kid's
but I
movie."
recognize now that I recognize I was not thinking of Last Starfighter. I was thinking of Flight of the Navigator because that's what you said earlier.
Yeah.
Ah,
Last Starfighter. I don't know. I haven't seen it in so long.
I just saw it.
I just saw it.
It's pretty
not-
funky, dude.
It's
not good?
great.
The first act is amazing.
Yeah.
Second and third act, funky.
Well, here's the thing. I even way long ago. This was when I was in college. Or like early freshman, sophomore year. I rented a DVD. Actually, back then I think it still was VHS of the Inhumanoids, which is a huge way to close to my heart. Humanoids, Sky Commanders, Visionaries. Those will always be here as childhood dreams, and it was horrible, god awful. I mean, I couldn't even get through it, and that's why Retro Junkies is fun because you get a little piece of it, and you're like, "Oh, dude, I totally remember that." But
It's like what we were
it's
talking
why
about
we don't
with
watch
downloadable
Cartoon.
games.
Yeah, it's like why we don't watch Cartoon Network and just watch the Hanna-Barbera hour, the entire episode, because you kind of go, "This is some pretty hot poop."
But to a 13-year-old,
to a 13-year-old, it's amazing. To a
13's
10-year-old,
a little old even.
well, yeah, but I mean,
that's
you know
why
what
I was thinking of Transformers. And
Yeah, I agree.
But I think there
you're
are
right on.
definitely movies
That
in that
transcend
place that transcend, and that's
Ghostbusters.
honestly one of the reasons I was so upset at Transformers is because I felt like it had the potential to be that transcendent, like Ratatouille, like some of the movies from
Well,
our
Ratatouille
youth.
wasn't based on an earlier work. So what he's saying is, because for me, I thought Transformers worked. I thought Transformers updated it, kept it kids, was awesome, all that stuff. But what it wasn't was a complete retelling of the Transformers, animated series.
Right.
Because I think what he's saying is that maybe those are only good because when we were watching them, we were young. It's like watching Voltron. I watched an episode of Voltron the other day, and it was like... And
I think there's
love
definitely some
Voltron.
stuff that's only good because you're young and you fill in the gaps as a kid and it's all new. And when stuff ceases to be new, it doesn't wow you anymore.
Yeah.
But I also think that there's stuff like if I was a kid 5 years ago when the first Lord of the Rings movie came out, Fellowship of the Ring, that would have blown my mind, and it still works. It still blew my mind as a
Right.
28-year-old
thing.
guy.
There
But that
certainly
wasn't
are
being made
classics.
back in the 80s.
there are classics, and I will say, and I think I know why. I know we got this, but the first Matrix,
Oh.
I think that will
I agree.
remain classic.
I agree.
2, 3, not so much.
2 and 3, no, definitely not. Because the things that could date all of Tony Scott's movies, totally dated. He does really cool, very current, new things
Yeah.
that are great while they happen.
Yeah.
Michael Bay's films probably, a lot of commercial guys because they use current new things that are really flashy and cool, but they date it.
Right.
Last Starfighter used new CG technology,
I know.
dated.
Yeah.
But even though the Matrix has
But, like, Tron
did very
holds
innovative
up.
special effects, Tron holds up, and because Tron's a great example of this, because the special effects service the story.
story, yeah.
The only way to articulate the special effect that was so innovative in the Matrix was the only way to articulate the idea that in this world, the way he moved so much quicker than everyone else that things slow down. So that's that's why the TIE fighters don't even look that all they have to do is clean up the mats but it still works. Alien is that
And
way.
that's exactly why I refuse to let Transformers off the hook for bad script. Because those effects are so great, and yet they don't service... I don't know. We disagree about...
They kind of
okay.
dude, Transformers is not a classic, and I did want it to be a classic.
Me too.
But
really badly.
I also get that, I loved Goonies. I'm glad Goonies was made. And
But
if
I
I
think
was...
that might be why I
if I was
like
26 when
Transformers.
Goonies came
I
out...
didn't need it to be anything
Yeah.
but fun because
I
I thought
agree.
it was going to be hot poop on a stick.
No, I hear you. But I just want to say, too, if Goonies were to come out today, and I was 26,
Right.
I probably wouldn't... It's sad. I don't think I would like Goonies.
Well, but I think that's the nature of growing
What do
up
you
as a human.
Yeah.
You like things because you're a kid and you think it's amazing, and then you're able to retell the stories and joke about it with your friends because we all felt the same way at that time.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't all sit down and watch Goonies again together. You
Why
know what
not?
I mean?
I think we should. Let's go do that.
We can watch it now, and it'll be good because...
No, that was the
we
segue.
hold on to our
That was the
memories.
segue.
Okay. Bam.
Then becomes a man.
So, I don't know how to tie a tie.
That's right.
How old are you?
I'm 26. I should say, with all these Dan becomes a man things, I had a very good father. Dad is
Genius.
okay. Son is the problem.
Genius.
Not dad.
The
I don't
daddy.
have enough reasons to tie a tie. I don't wear a tie for work. But I haven't gone to enough weddings or funerals to give it enough time for it to sink in.
Yeah.
So I always have to relearn every time I do it. Okay, is this long guy over
So
here?
you want the long guy over here. Oh, it doesn't matter either side. Well, we're left-handed.
So is he?
Yeah, but he's not right. So the first thing you do, the longer one goes across the front.
Okay, makes sense. Yep.
If you're halfway there, dude, you can go out like that.
Okay, and then go up, right? And then,
Yeah.
and then through the thing.
So you
Got
know
it?
how to tie
No,
a tie.
I just.
Now you're coming down through the loop you just made.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
So I did that.
Okay, so you pull down.
Keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling. Look what you made! You made a tie!
I'm gonna do it blindfolded.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
I don't know why we would ever need to be blindfolded to do this.
Well, Alex challenged me. Really
All right, good. You can't. All right.
All right, ready? I like remember like over the loop, down the middle, you know, but I never. Fuck. You guys fuck with me? Sometimes I have trouble sticking it in, you know.
No.
Boom! Look at you!
Man became a man.
Bring on the wedding, dudes.
Dudes.
Ashley.
Ah.
So we've been playing a lot of video games lately, and I thought it'd be fun to check in and see what we've been playing. I know you have been playing some new games.
Crazy
right?
games. I went over to my buddy Liam's house, and he had 2 games that he was really excited to show me, one of which we have talked about. Somebody's girlfriend has been playing it. Dirt.
I played the demo.
You played the demo? Yeah.
I don't know.
The racing game.
Dirt, the racing game. I was kind of blown away a little bit. I started watching the opening animatic, and I was like, oh my god, tell me that's not real in-game footage. That's amazing. And he was like, oh, no. Oh, yeah, that is. And I was like, holy crap, this game is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Liam has a 1080p, so he's doing everything in 1080p. The game looks sick.
Yeah.
And I watched him play. I was like, holy crap. And it's a like Colin McRae
Yeah,
it's a rally game. But it's not just a rally game.
Yeah.
There's multiple different types of cars that you play throughout the game. Like you end up, at one point you do the classic rally through, like the hills of Germany or whatever, you know what I mean? But then Flash 2, you're on those like crazy, like the buggy RC trucks, and you're going over the little dirt tracks. I mean, it's really intricate. The menu system is gorgeous. Dude,
Great game.
but
You obviously played it a
honestly,
lot.
how good does the menu system have to be in order for me to say that?
Yeah.
I mean, because we give a shit. It's like somebody. It's like the Halo Flash thing, when Halo or not Halo. Yeah. When Halo, no, the Xbox 360, the original. When they announced the Xbox 360, and all it was the website with the flash that was like always moving, and you could touch things and they would come forward.
Cool.
And it was like this really cool interface, and of course the Xbox 360 interface is not as cool as that was. But the menu system was great. The car mechanics were really great. I'm not a huge race car fan. I think I might get this game.
Cool.
The grass looked sick in the demo. I mean, the grass looked
Dude,
awesome.
everything about it. The other game that he was playing, which also blew my mind, was The Darkness, which is a first-person shooter based on a graphic novel that is...
The guys that did Chronicles of Riddick game for the original Xbox.
which was great, which was totally... People should have been playing that more. Graphics are incredible. Incredible. And it's a mob story that then sends you to hell.
It's cool.
So, you're literally just like a mobster. You're like this orphan mobster guy, and it turns out your family has this weird, evil thing. So you go around with these, 2 evil, I can't even explain. They're like electric eel evil things. And when you kill somebody, you devour their heart, and these 2 things come down and rip the heart out of the guy and then fight over who gets to eat it. Epic.
That's cool.
The AI
check that out.
The AI is horrible. There's a lot of people standing there looking at the wall, and then you walk up and they're like, "Oh, excuse me." so there was a little bit, but other than that, I mean, the enemy AI is actually pretty good, and the story is amazing. Graphics are unbelievable. So those are the 2 games.
And you've been playing more Shadowrun, right?
Yes. You know what I'm doing?
Playing Shadowrun.
Thanks to Jeff Johnson, who sent me. He works for Intrada, which is I think an exclusive score. They only sell scores, a label that only puts out movie scores. Sent me the scores to Crawl in The Last Starfighter.
Oh, cool. Crawl.
And so I put with my Connect 360 thing. You can play my iTunes library on the 360.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was playing Shadowrun to the Crawl score.
That's cool, man.
Oh my God.
dude.
Here's the thing.
I want to do that.
Most of the epicness took place when I had died and I was watching the other guys play.
Yeah.
And he was gliding around on the glider and it was it was oh my God. Awesome.
Dude.
It's cool.
Epic.
Yes. I highly recommend doing that.
I'm going to try it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still just playing the demo. I feel like the game is just many more levels and I'm still not good. So I might as well just
Play the demo. We should
cut
play it. We haven't
montage
played
it
it at all.
train. I really want to play with you guys.
I know. I'm super excited.
I would love to. I've been playing a bunch of Resistance on my new PS3.
Yeah.
I finished it last night.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You haven't played.
Wait. Have we talked about the PS3 yet? Have we talked about ours?
We talked a little bit last night, but you
We
guys
didn't say
checked
how
it
we
out.
checked out that the Geometry Wars type game that was
With
rad.
Geometry Wars and Calling All Cars.
Yeah, it was
Well,
awesome.
it wasn't Geometry Wars, it was Super Stardust HD,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I talked about last week, but you
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
hadn't seen yet.
So we hadn't seen it. Dude, I have to tell you, the last couple weeks have been very... My brain is being completely... my soul is being wrenched in directions. I bought an iPhone. Love the iPhone. I'm actually way love the iPhone. I got half boofed. Like, what? I got half boofed.
You did.
I went and saw the PS3, and I'm sitting there going,
It's pretty cool.
this is pretty cool.
Right.
Played Calling All Cars, but loved it. Was in. I
Yep.
thought even the Gundam demo, I was like, those are some pretty good textures. So I don't know. My soul is being ripped in different directions.
I played
don't
through
know what-
Resistance, and it's pretty darn fun. It's pretty darn fun. It's clearly a launch title, and
Yeah.
like November 2006 called and wants their review back, but I'm still gonna review it.
Nice.
It's
Awesome.
Called you on your iPhone?
It's clearly a launch title, and it needed a lot more polish. The story it could be really interesting, but the way it's told in the game is really clunky and lame. You'll do a really fun action-packed level, and then it'll cut to still image and voiceover, and then fading into a map and voiceover, and it's clearly could have used some more time
Like
in the
an
oven.
NES cutscene.
Yeah, I mean, it was a stylistic choice, but I think it was a stylistic choice based on their lack of time to actually kind of flesh things out. But it's really fun. There's some really fun vehicle sections that are all too short.
Yeah.
I kind of agreed with the prevailing wisdom that it was kind of a 7.5, 8, on the out of 10.
that's pretty
but
high.
It's,
But what
it
is it?
was really fun.
That's really
Is
high.
it just game design that made it fun?
Yeah.
Or is there any sort of thing in this game that I haven't experienced in
You have
another?
it plays very much like Halo 2.
Although, don't they do the shaky get
A
off
little
of me,
bit. There's
dude?
one monster that jumps and grabs you, and then you have to
Yeah.
shake him off.
Oh,
it very
one
happen.
monster?
You can avoid that through the whole game if you're shooting him.
You mean playing the game well?
Yeah. You know what I really miss in the game? Really, really miss is vibration. I didn't think the rumble would be that much of an
Lacking.
impact, but it really affected me. You don't feel it in your hands, and I'm so used to that now.
That's
You know what?
interesting.
Probably the
But
Rumble
hopefully-
Pack is probably like scores in movies.
You don't
notice
realize they're
it,
there,
until
but
you
you
miss
miss
it.
them when
But
they're not.
it subconsciously affects
interesting.
your mood.
That's really
Which
interesting.
brings me to the segue that I was going to do.
The two-wheel scooter? Sorry.
Up like this
Every
because you're
time.
really short. It's like this. I think that they're going to announce a Rumble at E3 because Sony kind of
Did they finally get through that lawsuit? they
yeah
were
with
having?
immersion they settled in it. I think it's going to, but I think there's a bunch of podcasts and a bunch of websites you can go to get people predicting what's going to happen at E3, and I'm not really interested in doing that. What I think would be
However,
fun,
here are my predictions.
what I think would be fun for us is I want to see what because by the time this episode airs, people are going to be hearing the press. Our episode comes out, and then the press conferences will be happening or have already happened.
Right.
So I think it would be really interesting to hear if there's going to be big announcements, what it would take for you to want to buy a PS3 or a Wii, or what you think a 360, each of you, because neither of you has a PS3 or
Yeah,
a Wii.
right.
What would be the kind of thing they could announce that would make you want to run out and buy it? Or what do you hope they'll announce for the 360 that will make you even happier that you own one?
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Well,
and it could be something that seems likely or not likely.
Right.
Right?
Wow. Well, first off, price drop on the PS3, which is
Well,
price
I bought a PS3, so I think I confirmed a price drop for everyone.
which is awesome. Thank you very much. But even more, I mean, even to $4.99, I'm still like,
Yeah.
oh, it's still very expensive.
It needs to be less, because I feel like it needs to be less than an Xbox, not the same as. You know what I mean?
Well, it's going to still be
It's
more.
still going to be more.
Even with
It's gonna be
$100
Yeah.
more.
Oh,
That
well, no, it's
hasn't
gonna
been
be this-
confirmed, although it may be
going
confirmed
down
by the
to
time people see
$4.99.
this. but
Xboxes are $3.99.
The rumor, heavy
At least
rumor as we
$4.99
tape, is that
already.
it will go down
No, it's for, like,
$100.
$29.
but-
Well, I just bought, actually,
$4.39.
it was $4.79.
$4.79.
I'll be told.
But they're
Yeah.
thinking that's going to drop.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know any game.
Yeah.
Honestly, PS3,
So if-
it's just any
so if
game
they
that
did-
I'm interested in doing.
So if they debut Killzone 2,
And it's epic.
and it's epic, you'll be like, yeah, I think it's validated. You validated the PS3.
Do they have
Yeah,
any?
boy, it's gotta
All the
get a
games
lot
that I'm
of
excited
stuff like
for,
that.
do they already have release dates?
Well, they've had
No,
release
most of
dates
them.
that have been
Like
pushed
not
back.
hard dates,
Robo
but-
Chicken Face and
Robo Chicken Face, right?
does that have a release date already?
The demo in the fall, supposedly full game in the
Because
first
I'm
quarter.
already. I just need those games to be out
Yeah,
and
the
they're
games that
confirmed
you
that they're
want.
awesome, and then I would be very interested in
Yeah.
getting the PS3. If they
So, but what-
release
what-
another game that's exclusive to PS3, that's just like holy crap,
Like God
that
of
would
War
make
3.
me- Yeah, like a God of War 3 that looks unbelievable. And-
What about
and-
a teaser for God of War 3? That's just like a teaser.
No, because
Well, no, 'cause you
I
just
need to
wait
see
until
the.
it comes
I
out.
want to see the game because the teaser is just. You mean like a cutscene?
Yeah, that'd be a teaser.
You know, like well, teasers.
Because I saw the teaser for Grand Theft Auto. Oh, that's coming out. in
Dude,
both.
although did you guys see the footage? I don't know, this is off internet here, but did you guys see the footage of the BioShock?
no.
The run through with the guy?
Yeah, with Ken Levine talking about it. I think that was Ken Levine, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, no, that game's gonna be
Dude,
awesome.
moving
haven't
the
seen
trap,
it.
taking control of the.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that more when that game
Yes,
comes out.
I
What about the
agree.
Wii? Is there anything that,
Wii.
like, for you to
Wii.
want the Wii lightsaber game? We
But
already talked
I
about.
want a Wii.
Maybe.
I
You
just
do
don't.
want a Wii.
I just don't feel like paying for one.
I feel the same way.
Huh.
I would if I had
So
one. I would,
someone
I would have it.
send Dan a Wii.
Totally.
Yeah, dude.
But I mean, like, it's not that I don't want it.
Yeah.
It's just $250. Anything over $100 for me is like I always weigh it against like I really need to have that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather be spending my money on.
I'm gonna say an actual platformer Mario title that's not paper.
What about Galaxy? Galaxy is going to be shown, obviously. They've already shown it.
Well, yeah, I played a little bit of Galaxy.
Galaxy is like Super Stardust HD. It's like on the planets and you run around and then you leap to the next planet.
Well, that's rad.
oh,
Well,
it's all. I played it
yeah.
last year's E3. It's freaking
That's
amazing.
what I was saying.
Yeah.
You didn't
Okay,
like it?
something maybe a little.
That's the next Mario.
Okay, well, so
Mario
then,
Kart? Are you a Mario Kart fan?
Yeah, on the DS, it's amazing.
Well, Mario Kart Wii is heavily rumored to be debuting there.
Yeah, all right. I guess there's no
Mario
real.
Kart's so redundant. I feel.
Yeah, like I feel like there's something like maybe like Kid Icarus 2 for the Wii would blow my mind.
funny.
You know what I mean? Like something that's like Mike Tyson's Punch Out for the Wii.
Like a full-on
like
Wii
boom,
Sports.
boom, boom. Yeah, like,
That's cool
But those
idea.
are so. Like we were saying, like that. This is so.
Well, but
What
you,
about, like,
this
fun
is all it
for a little
has.
bit.
You gotta,
I
you gotta
know.
use it. Otherwise,
Yeah, but-
otherwise people are gonna go, well, what? I could just play this with better graphics on any other.
True,
system.
but like Elite Beat Agents, which you could only
Well,
or
no,
Kirby's
that is
Canvas
true.
Curse, which you could only those kinds of games, which you can only
Yeah.
do for a stylus.
Yeah, I know.
Like I would, and I play them for hours. I would love a Kirby's Canvas Curse type game with the Wii would be fun. Do they already
Yeah.
have a game like that?
There's no Kirby game for
There's
the
the
Wii.
Harry
no.
Potter.
mean-
I'm actually interested. The Harry Potter game
Oh,
is
yeah,
a
'cause you go,
wand
like-
combat.
Yeah.
Wand combat, and I'm kind of thinking that might be cool.
You know what? I don't freaking like. I don't think this is that rad. Is it? Do you guys think it's that rad?
Well, we all know how I feel about it.
I know, but-
I'm on record saying that it for me it got old pretty quick.
Yeah.
I did not enjoy Zelda playing it that way. A lot of people did love it that way, but I personally didn't.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see how Metroid comes out. If playing a first-person shooter and shooting like that and interacting with doors and opening it, that seems amazing.
Really?
If it delivers on that promise, I think I
Why-
would love it.
Why
enjoy
is going like
WarioWare
this?
in Wario things. I think it was Wario. No, it was the Rayman one. I really liked the first person
Spraying water and
gunny.
stuff.
No. There was like a gun where you go down and you're like, reload.
Yeah, it's water.
No. It's a Wild West.
Okay.
People popping up and you shoot them with a gun. I know the water one. It was also good. But this one, I was really like, wow, this is actually could be fun with a first person shooter. time crisis type of situation. But I feel like just get the gun.
I'll tell you
and
what.
you're there.
I never played that electrolyte.
Oh, yeah.
That seemed cool. Elebits?
Elebits, right.
That seemed
Ooh,
cool.
Elebits.
I'll tell you what would get me interested. A puzzle game. Where moving stuff around was...
Like in 3D?
Where this thing...
Yeah.
Because a first-person shooter, like you said, interacting with the world, if I can do all that with this, but I have to be physical, I don't get why that's more fun.
Yeah.
I'm merely going like this, as opposed to it's easier and it's better, and I still have the same sort of mental processes go into here that we'd be doing in this. It's just that
Arm
now
doesn't get
something
tired.
funny is happening, and I look
Yeah.
funny to people. But if the game incorporated, I guess this is what Camus Curse does with the stylus, some sort of puzzle game where I needed to do this kind of stuff in a certain way that it just demanded that I interact with it in that way. I don't know what that is, and that's why I'm not. But
that's the game.
Something about that would make me want to get it.
Yeah.
I know it's vague, but
That's tough. I don't know if there's anything specific. Well, you have all three, so I guess you don't need to answer the question.
Well, no, I'm very...
what could be released that would confirm your?
Yeah, what would make
Would
you...
make you
for
feel less
PS3?
guilty for buying the PS3?
Yeah, well, tell me about that.
Nothing. PS3,
Hats.
I'm hoping that there'll be a new Jak and Daxter announced.
Oh,
I really, really hope for
just
that.
how that might
never
look
played
would be
those.
cool.
Yeah, because the way Ratchet and Clank
I was
looks
gonna say.
is amazing.
Yeah.
And another Sly Cooper would be cool.
Oh, that would be
Right.
epic.
Okay,
I did
things
love
are happening.
Sly Cooper.
Things are happening.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think a teaser for God of War 3 would be pretty epic.
I know. Something else, something on PS3 from the makers of Ico and Shadow of the Colossus.
Their next thing?
Bring it. That would completely. I bought a PlayStation 2 to play Ico. Bring it. Bring it.
Well, that's
Bring.
all we need to bring.
All right, so next week we'll have all of the kind of full-on
Wrap up
E3.
what we think.
Yeah. So tune in then.
Coverage. Yeah. All right, everybody, for our email this week, we have air conditioning just being turned on. We got an email here from, I believe that's Kaylee from Arizona. It says, hey guys, I'm starting college in the fall at Arizona State. Congratulations, Kaylee.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering where you all went to school, what you majored in, and what is some advice for a soon-to-be freshman. Thanks, Kaylee, Arizona. Well, this is an interesting question. Dan, where did you go to college?
I went to Temple University
Yeah.
in Philadelphia. That's where Bill Cosby and Bob Saget went. Bob Saget
Interesting combo.
actually won the Student Academy Award. He was a film major, which was what my major was.
Film?
Funny, every
In
time
general?
when we first met, every time you said, told a story about Temple or when I was at Temple, I used to think you were talking about like Jewish
too.
Like I
Temple.
was super jail.
Me too.
I'm so
It's
not
funny.
that guy
I
at
know.
all. And what advice I would have is that, I felt, and this may be specific to my major, but I wasn't very happy with going to my school. It was it was my fallback school.
Oh.
But I'm now thrilled that happened in my life because
You met some great people.
I met a couple great people.
all the people that you know from there.
know.
are like,
Great people.
What the hell?
My friends that watched the show that went to Temple,
No.
definitely met those
No,
good
no.
people.
You guys aren't that great.
But I didn't have this grade. I met the best friends of my life in college, kind of thing. But I went above and beyond what was demanded of me in college, and I was glad that I was at a school where I was comfortable to do that.
Cool.
That it wasn't like,
You weren't forced to
I
be
wasn't.
stressed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I was
You chose
able
to be stressed.
Exactly, and I was able to do the things that I wanted to do extracurricularly, and I ended up having a really awesome experience based on being able to do all that I wanted to do.
Cool.
That's a good suggestion. Jeff?
I went to UC Santa Barbara here in lovely California.
Go
I loved
Gauchos.
it. So did Steve. Steve, we got
So
an
did my
email.
girlfriend.
Go Brad Sibberling.
We got an email from a guy saying
that was your mascot. I was like,
saying that
"That's
when
weird,
we answer
mascot."
the emails, we should include Steve because Steve is the Totally Rad Show.
Oh.
So Steve went to UCSB also.
Nice.
Steve majored in film like Danny. I got a Bachelor of Fine Arts in theater acting.
Theater acting?
Yeah, theater.
right.
It was actually theater. And for advice, I would say enjoy it. I miss college so much. I loved college.
Yeah.
And I always said that it would be great if I could have like 6 freshman years at 6 different colleges to figure out which college I wanted to go to. But
Wow.
So enjoy your freshman year. What about you? Senor.
Alex.
Senor Alex.
I would say, well, first off, I went to American University in Washington, D.C., the American University in Washington, D.C. I have a Bachelor's of Science in Computer Information Systems, which is
Jeez Louise.
fancy dancy. I did the studyings.
Yeah, you did.
Well, not really. Somebody said I knew computers, and I got a little degree for it.
Yeah.
My advice to you would be do everything. Try everything. If you've always thought maybe you'd be into puppeteering, try it.
Yeah.
That's what college is for.
Yeah.
I
Good
started
advice.
doing improv in college. Best thing I could have ever done.
Yeah.
I started acting in college. I started singing in college. I was in a punk metal band. I played
Really?
rugby in college. I was in a fraternity.
Yeah, you know what?
Chicks.
I
It was fun.
That was the
Beg
first time-
chicks in college?
I know.
I totally agree with that because I went into college as a computer science
Do
major.
everything.
And I changed
Yeah.
to acting
Right.
because
Don't
of
bang
the
chicks
acting
at
classes.
Temple, because
And it's Temple. It's Jewish.
And that's what's great about a liberal science or a liberal arts
arts
college
schools, yeah.
is you can really have a lot of different. You have
But
to
also
take electives.
extracurricularly. Extracurricularly. So anyway, Callie, congratulations.
Yeah, have a great time.
Have
Callie.
a great time. Send
And
us
tell
photos.
all your friends at Arizona State to watch our show.
Yeah, right. We love Arizona State. Go Devils.
We got some other
Devils.
emails though, right?
Carl Tyler just bought
Well,
himself.
no, Carl from Tyler, Texas.
Well, you wrote it, Carl Tyler, comma Texas. Carl from Tyler, Texas, bought himself an '82 DeLorean.
Wow.
Found an '82 DeLorean with
Unbelievable.
4,500 miles on it.
Check that out.
Dude.
dudes.
Unbelievable.
Dudes.
Dudes.
Everyone wants a DeLorean.
Everyone. I
mean-
still see them on the street and get a little fluttered.
Absolutely. And I don't understand, like, what happened. Like,
Dude,
why do they
if
not
the
make
DeLorean
more?
got redone,
It doesn't even have to be redone. It
Yeah.
is a
Remade.
classic.
Put it out
Remade,
now.
Yes, it is Lord of the Rings, it is Matrix.
Yeah. So
it is-
congratulations,
Yes.
Carl, on your awesome
many DeLorean.
get.
We also want to thank Jan, I think it is.
Yeah, it's
Jon?
spelled John, but
Jon?
he's from Norway.
He's from Norway.
So it might be you.
First ever video email.
And he
Email.
specifically asked if he could pat us on the head.
So here we
So-
go. We'll give you a couple seconds here, Jan. Pounding.
And there he goes.
We
felt
actually
good.
really,
It felt good.
It felt good. I felt it,
Thank
all
you.
the way from
Thank you.
Norway.
Thank you, sir.
That was
That's
a
a good-
head
that was
pat
a-
from Norway.
That was an pan national pat. I'm failing here.
Pan-national?
Just because he needed
Pan-
the two P's. He just needed
For
the
someone
two
who doesn't
Ps.
like it when I don't capitalize my I's in an email.
I don't.
Pan-national
Yeah.
is a little bit of a funny word to come out of your mouth.
Well, you
I
know
was
what?
trying to come up with something.
He was being pan-national.
Whatever.
Well, if you have emails, video, or other, you can send us at fans@totallyradshow.com. That means you can send us.
That's right. And if you have a background like Casey here and you want to do send us a background, that's also where you send it. Also, check out our forums at totallyradshow.com. There's some cool discussions going on.
That is true.
Check us out on the MySpace, myspace.com. Look at Steve. /Totally
Dan
Rad
Zuckerberg.
Show. MySpace.com/Totally Rad Show. Remember, Comic-Con, we'll be posting that on the MySpace.
Yes.
Comic-Con.
And you know what?
is
One
Bar Basic in
Friday,
San Diego.
Bar Basic.
Yes, Bar Basic. We forgot. Yes.
Yes.
Another place they can check out the show. Actually, a viewer named Raul started a Second Life area for us, so you can watch our show in Second Life.
Let's go do that now.
You guys are critics in movies and games. You don't get a professional, movie critic thing because you're just three buddies discussing movies and games and TV shows, and that makes it really, really cool. Gives a lot of perspectives.